Wolf Alexander here with another mini episode of Multiple Personalities, my podcast. The thing that everybody needs more of, a podcast. I have to say, though, I do want to give shout out. There are podcasts which allow for a deep dive into any type of conversation, whether it be politics or to health, to physics, you name it, it's there. And there are credible people. Shout out to the Bulwark, and the whole crew, love them all. Uh, Malcolm Nance, Black Man Spy, um, uh, who talks to people like Michael Steele, and just great conversations and very needful types of information, honestly put forward with expertise. And if they don't have expertise, these people will say, I'm not an expert in this regard, or I don't know this for a fact, or so on. They're honest brokers. These are the ones that I watch the most. There are a lot of them. There are people on Substack. Again, the Bulwark is on Substack, and Bill Crystal, and a host of others. We have generals on there. General Mark Hertling is on there, I believe. Shout out to him. I like him. He's a good strategic mind. But anyway, a lot of stuff that's I think is reliable for me comes from podcasts at this point, not so much from so-called legacy media or mainstream media, whatever people are kind of insultingly calling it. There is a problem, when you have a very small number of people running all the media and owning the media and making cultural decisions, political decisions about what can be said and what can't be said, and so on. This has been going on for a long time. It's nothing new, but I think it's at its height right now, where it's just a very small number of people. Is this an example, or kind of an iteration of Orson Welles' movie? It is a great movie, actually. Okay. In any case, the podcast. Lately, what I've been thinking is that things have gone pretty haywire, all over the place, as far as the big picture goes. How it affects me individually, and most of us here individually, that's another story. And the price of food has gone up. That affects me directly. And that's the most kind of big effect in my existence, coming from the big picture to local. So there's that. The rest of it, a lot of it is emotional turmoil. If I allow myself to be kind of doom scrolled into that existence, which I think that's what it requires, a steady diet of bad news that can really get under a person's skin. And I think it's a problem, and so I have my own methods of trying to compartmentalize information, but also to realize that regardless of the big picture, I am living my own particular life, and that revolves around, things I care for most, including family members and friends, but creative works and useful works. Love doing music, love writing, love doing artwork, and so on. I mean, these are the things that set me in motion for the most part, but I also love science. And in my time of growing up, we were all the men at least in general, we're required to be gadget freaks, so we all had to have the latest gadget. And there were a lot, you know. If you're starting when I was a kid, the first television I saw was when I was 3 years old, about 1953. And just like earth shaking tech change and development, just earth shaking, one thing after another, after another, after another. I mean, very consequential stuff. Uh, and then how do we get used to it? Most of us, we figure out a way to get used to it, and figure out how to be fine with it. And after a while, if you do things long enough, of course, you start to just it becomes kind of second nature. Like the fact that I'm using this phone right now to record myself in full color, in nice sharp imagery, you know, in the middle of the courtyard here where I live. Is just take it for granted. I could do it. It's easy. It's nothing. Okay. Can you imagine? I never would have imagined this, of course, when I was watching my TV, the first screen, besides the movie screen, um, the first screen that I ever saw. You know. So I think the idea, the advice, if you will, that I could give is find ways to just sit and breathe and not think about a lot of things every day, whenever you can. Sometimes I can do it when I'm walking. I don't have to think things to walk. I'm just observing, being there. The feet are moving, the body's moving down the road. Let's just breathe and look at stuff. That can allow moments of peace, because I think that that's the only way for me to get through it is to establish peaceful routines. It's just, you know, having to discipline my mind and my consciousness itself. Have to be disciplined or you create a lot of problems. Hence the term unhinged. You know, so if your mind and your consciousness are unhinged, it's not good. It doesn't work well. So anyway, these are my deep thoughts today. And I wish everybody some peace and joy on a Sunday, uh, July 2025, near the end of the month. I think it's the 27th today. Find a place things to do that you care about and give you joy. Anyway, much love to you all. Take care.